welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and we are at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show, and you guessed it, right now we are talking about the one and only Cybertruck. This is my first time seeing this thing in person, and I have to say, like all cars really, you really need to see them in person to get a real sense of what they're about. The next step is being able to see them visually moving. We're not getting to see this one in motion today as it is sitting here, but when you see cars in motion, that's kind of the final top tier of what a car really is meant to look like. But I tell you what, looking at this one here, sitting here, the proportions, the dimensions make a little bit more sense to my eyes. But I tell you what, we're gonna go all around this thing, but while we're here at the front, let's go ahead and look inside, right? So this is the front. Get a little bit of storage in here. Not a ton, but a little bit. You could fit some things in here. If you care about the golf bag thing that everybody likes to talk about with storage, you could probably fit one in there. And you've got another button here to shut it. So again, storage up in the front, storage in the back. Now, again, this is stainless steel, guys, so you've got really sharp edges. The whole way, everywhere you walk around this thing, you've got really thin and sharp edges around the windows, all around the doors, and it definitely makes the thing look edgy. But this is a Cybertruck. This is different than anything else you're gonna see on the road. If you are driving this thing, wherever you are parked, wherever you are at, you're going to win the award for most unique vehicle there. And probably wherever you're parked, you're probably gonna win the award for fastest vehicle in a straight line that's there anywhere in the parking lot. You look at it and you're like, it's not just a big behemoth of a vehicle, but it's also a speed demon. And that is crazy. You probably know a lot about your own opinion on this thing, but I have to say, hold a little bit on your opinion on it until you see one in person, because it does have this cool factor that just cannot be matched anywhere else. Talking about the Cybertruck is a very polarizing subject, but I have to say, I think those conversations really, rather than just be with keyboard warriors, those conversations should be had while in front of the Cybertruck, because seeing it in person is a big deal. So obviously, you've got the wild shape, you have the very strong structure, you've got the off-road wheels and tires set up. Look at those wheels. Those wheels are so unique, and those tires were made to fit those wheels. And I mean, I don't know how, when I think of that, I kind of think back to, remember how Hummer would have that thing on the side of the wheels? It was made to look like that automatic inflation device. It didn't really have the automatic inflation device, but it had that piece on the wheel that was made to appear that it did, and it was unique to the Hummer. These wheels and tires are unique to this vehicle. All right, so again, it's gonna be interesting. They're calling this the Foundation series of this vehicle. So again, we're still at the beginning stages of seeing these for the first time. It's gonna be interesting to see how maybe these designs evolve, or maybe anything ever changes with those wheels and tires. But come on back here, let's move on. I wanna show you guys, so to open the door, right, you have a button. So you push where this light is, the door pops open. And again, I do not want to forget to emphasize these sharp edges. These are thin, sharp edges, unlike any other vehicle I've been in, so you definitely would not want to slam your hand in the door. But if you can swing around here, look in this interior. I tell you what, I'll leave this door open here, and then we'll also look at the back. It opens the same way. There's a button there. This has a black interior, very large back seat, plenty of room, and this door will actually open a full 90 degrees, which makes great for loading and unloading large objects. So if you're installing a very large car seat, I'll always mention that it always helps the wider your doors open. But back here in the back seat of the Cybertruck, you have your own display, right? You're gonna be able to mess with your climate control. They're kind of hiding the vents around the screen here. That's very unique. But you have a lot of room back here, and I'm loving the glass roof as well, if you can see that. But there's not a ton of busyness going on here in the interior, and it's not just because you're in the back seat. It's kind of that way all over the vehicle, but you can seat 3 people back here, and I like dark colored interiors. Usually I like this black with just a little touch of the light colors, and you've got these awesome stripes of light here as well. I tell you what, we're gonna get in the front of this thing soon, but before we do, we're gonna walk around and let's talk about the back of this vehicle. This is a truck, right? They're calling it a truck. That's right, it has a truck bed. So let's go back here and take a look at that. Now again, the biggest thing about this is this design here, right? I mean, they're calling it a truck because it has a truck bed, but I don't know if it will be used for truck things any more than like a Hummer EV would. Just because something has a truck bed doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be used for all truck things. I mean, you can't side load anything here like you would if you were working with a normal pickup truck. But yes, it does have a truck bed, and there's good storage back here. So let's check this out. Go ahead. So as you're coming around here to the back, you'll see they've got this line all the way across the back. You've got your camera here. It says Foundation Series right here on here. And as you can see, this angle here can be covered up with a canopy, and that's done with these buttons here. So as you see, I've got this canopy coming up, and it'll come all the way down and shut things in. Now, this can handle a lot of weight. We've actually seen somebody get up here and stand on here, and supposedly it can hold up to 350 pounds. And controlling all of this with these buttons over here, right? Again, every time I touch this thing, I catch these sharp edges, and it kind of gives me caution. But look at that, how it just goes up automatically, and it's gonna go all the way down to reveal that back window again, so that you can see that. Now, as far as the bed goes, push the button, automatic comes down. You have storage here under the bed, which is open right here. That's pretty good, decent amount of storage. You've got a 6-foot bed right here, and you've got sliding rails back here for tie downs and things of that nature. But get a look back here, just looking straight back here through that back windshield. Just get that solid, big piece of glass. Doesn't come roll down or anything back there. But it leans itself to the design of this thing. It feels like a nice, wide, panoramic view back here out of that window, but you've got these sides here, so you really have to trust your cameras, right? So as we continue around here, I want to talk about where this fits, right? So this is an all-wheel drive, 600 horsepower. You can get this thing up to 845 horsepower. That is tons and tons of power. I don't know that you need to think about this vehicle in practical sense of, do you need that much power in your truck? Does your truck need that much power? I don't think that you need to think that way when you look at this vehicle, because this is just it's something completely different. I don't even know that I would call it a truck. I would think of some other kind of crazy name to just call this particular type of vehicle, as it is so unique and unlike anything else. So if you're familiar with talking about something like homologation, so you have like maybe a race car that is built for the racetrack. It's not road legal as a race car, but it's in a series where there has to be homologation. That means you have to make a certain amount of them for the street for it to qualify as a car that can be raced. So what they do is they take some of those race cars and make street versions. This feels like a vehicle that was made for some other kind of purpose, right? Almost like it was made for maybe even something on another planet. But to qualify for being able to use it, they had to make a street version. And so you get this, that's typically how you get things that are so crazy and wild and out there for the street. But that's not the case here. This was designed for the street here on planet Earth, and it's unlike anything else there right now, regardless of how you feel about the vehicle. Everyone, I think, needs to reserve most of your judgment till you see one in person, because there's no denying, there's just nothing else out there like this. It looks so unique, so cool, and I don't know if you'll find a more unique vehicle anywhere other than the Cybertruck. All right, guys, let's get inside this thing and see what it's like in the driver's seat. So again, we'll walk up, hit my button, it's gonna pop open, and now I'm liking the font here. I mean, nothing needs to be normal. You're not gonna do like Times New Roman or anything with font with your Cybertruck, right? Like everything needs to be as wild as the truck is, correct? I mean, that's what I think. I'm gonna get in here. Now, reminiscent of some of Tesla's other models, there is no display directly in front of the driver. So all you have is this big main screen here. Everything you need to know is on that screen. So how do you feel about the yoke? I don't know. It's very polarizing. I would much rather have a wheel, okay? But that's what's in here. If you're driving this, you're already in kind of a state of mind of everything is unique, and you probably hyper-focused on doing everything different than you are in a normal vehicle. So you know what? We've got the yoke in here. But I actually want, as I'm going to come around, I want you to see what some of the things are that you can do on the screen. It's going to give us some more information as well. So come around. All right, guys, let's look through some of the aspects of this screen here, the things you can find out. All kinds of information here. This does have adjustable ride height. That's the first thing that comes up. You've got headlight controls here. Everything is happening on the screen. There are no physical buttons outside of the ones on your steering wheel. So let's see what more information that we can figure out here. The graphic is obviously very cool. So you have different drive modes here. You got comfort, sport, customized that you can save for yourself, and off-road. It's monitoring everything, tire pressure, set your navigation here. I really want to focus on this graphic. Is really cool, and it's going to adjust as you change adjustments on your vehicle. Now, we're not able to change adjustments just sitting here, but again, everything is done through this center screen. And even as I sit here and make this motion where I put my hand on the top of the steering wheel, this yoke just feels, it reminds you every second you're in it that you're in something different and unique. But I tell you what,
It's different.
regardless of how you guys feel about whether it's a real truck or whatever, I would challenge you, focus on the vehicle. What would you use it for? Do you have a use for a vehicle like this? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to buy it not to do truck things. It's going to be more of a statement piece. It's going to be something that you buy to haul your family in. If it's a vehicle that you really, really like, but there's always going to be people that it's a little too far out there for. But I have to say this, it is undeniably true. Seeing it here live and in person, I think that this is one of the coolest vehicles I've ever seen in my eyes, design-wise. It's very unique, looks like nothing else, and if that's what you're into, go for the Cybertruck. I'm not saying it's the best truck, I'm not saying it's the best vehicle in the world, but it might be the most unique. So one of these days we'll get in here and we'll drive and we'll see what the driving experience is like, because you know it's going to be just as unique as the design as well. But thank you so much, guys, for watching this and checking out this Cybertruck with us. It was a joy to come here and for the first time actually get to put my hands on one and see one. So guys, look for our other reviews here at the Chicago Auto Show. We're so excited to be here. Thanks again for watching. This has been Drive It Out, and we will see you in the next review.